I want to know about your mindset. What is it that kept you going? What was your why?
One of the best things for me that has helped, wallahi, the last 5 years, I have long-term goals that I've built out. If I look at today, tick it off. That's a great day.
Tell us a bit about your background, how you grew up. Did you have motivation from that aspect as well, trying to help your family?
And I've got opportunities that they have never seen. Each opportunity that I'm given, I've got to make something of.
How do you not waver? Like, how do you like stay firm? And
I have a vivid memory when I was young, because those same people are still stuck in the same side right now. Sundown, you had to be in the house.
One of the things where it's very easy to apply your mindset to is fitness. What is it, 40 kg you lost?
Yeah, minimum 40 kilos.
so the longer break you take, the harder it is to get back in.
The only option I have is to make something of. That's the way my mind has been.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the StriveMed podcast, hosted by myself, Dr. Anam.
Dr. Zach.
Alhamdulillah, I'm very grateful to be here today in a brand new studio for us. You may notice a few differences in the studio, and we got excellent guest today, Meandering Muhammad. Before we get into that, we're going to quickly touch upon the sponsors which we have. Alhamdulillah, we've been blessed to work with a few different sponsors today. First and foremost, Healthy Nikah. So anyone who's in the healthcare profession who wants to get married, so any Muslim healthcare professionals, that's your place to find marriage, to find love, inshallah. Or anyone who's not a healthcare professional or wants to get married to a healthcare professional. As well as that, this episode is sponsored by Mirate, one of the best perfume companies. Muhammad, we actually wanted to gift you Mirate perfume, so we brought that with us today.
Jazakallah.
Check it out, inshallah.
Look at the packaging, it's amazing. First of all, I want the camera just to see the packaging. It's A1. I mean, very classy, elegant, but obviously you do the honors, you open it up. We've got a few items in there gifted by sponsors for our guests.
This is one of the best perfumes in the game. Honestly, when you smell it, it will surprise you tremendously.
Yeah, for sure.
And luxury packaging, you can give it for gifts as well. Brilliant smell as well.
Bro, check it out, open it. I think it's a travel set. It's one of their travel sets. So they do three different options. I think this is probably the best one for me in terms of quality and like just elegance and how classy it is.
Yeah, fair.
And it's very convenient, especially, I mean, it's a travel set, so if you're going abroad or
give it a try, bro. Give it a try.
Quick test.
Test. What's that one? I think the name's written on there.
This is the Kuwa.
Oh yeah, cool. Strength.
Strength. This is the right one for me, man.
It's true.
I can't lie.
It's true.
Smell good as well. And they've got male and female options as well. So I think this is the male brand, set, travel set.
Yeah, this one's nice. I can't lie.
Let me smell it.
Cool, man. This one's going in the bag.
Yeah, bro, they're all going in the bag.
Yeah, this is just joining the rotation.
Check this one. Some of them are very woody.
This is Azadi.
Yeah. Mashallah.
Azadi, mashallah. Yeah, this is that Udi type.
Yeah. Let me smell it. Check that one out. Yeah, this is definitely that.
This is the Damask.
It's good packaging as well.
Yeah,
bro, packaging's A1, man.
Clean.
Yeah. Thing is, I knew about, before even Mirate sponsored us. I've known the brother for a long time. We've known him a long time. But I knew, I've been buying his perfumes, bro, before he even sponsored the podcast. And they're A1.
Yeah, the next level.
It stays on you for a while.
This one is very nice. MashaAllah. This one is very nice.
Subhanallah.
Yeah. This is the Khaliji smell, man.
Yeah.
But
this is a royal smell.
Bro, this is a royal smell. That's that.
Copper quick spray, inshallah.
That's that. What's it called? That's that money smell, man. That's you, bro.
Jazakallah.
Now you're going to be smelling banging on your runs.
Yeah.
Huh?
Them lunchtime runs.
Mashallah. So today, alhamdulillah, I think Quwa was a very good word to describe you and your journey. And to be honest, we really want to go all into it. There's a physical side, mental side, resilience. And, we really appreciate all that you've done. I think, inshallah, you've done well so far. And you've got a long way to go. It's just getting started. Inshallah, you're going to make it. And just taking it back to how we met, the one thing which I noticed about you is positivity. We didn't see each other that much in the hospitals, to be honest, but when I did meet you, it was nothing but love, especially that back when we were starting the StriveMed pod, right?
Yeah.
And this is how things go. It takes from one step to the next, alhamdulillah. Now Allah's blessed us with sponsors, a good studio who's supporting us with the longevity, and guests like yourself, alhamdulillah. And you notice the reaction of different people whenever you're trying to do something, right? Some people have the crabs in a bucket mentality, trying to pull you back down.
Facts.
But with Muhammad, from day one, it was nothing but love, showing love on everything. And then now we've seen him, bring out his own stuff, his own content. And we actually love the content. We love all angles of it. It's very holistic. It covers everything. So just a quick insight into Muhammad, Meandering Muhammad, as you'll find him on TikTok. Instagram as well?
Yeah, otherwise known as Mo Local.
Yeah, Mo Local, mashallah. We'll get into that as well. The main thing about him, actually, just for our audience to get a bit of background, is that he started off with a radiography degree.
Yes.
Okay, so he was working as a radiographer. And then after that, he did medicine. So he's finished medical degree after that. And now he's going to be starting his F1 in a few months, inshallah. So that's actually tremendous. I remember when I was meeting him and I saw you the first time, you were doing a locum radiography while studying. And I was like, this is long, subhanAllah, like putting in those shifts, And I think there's so many lessons we want to benefit. We want our audience to benefit as well. One of them is just putting in that grind, especially in your early years. As a man, you need to put in that grind. You need to put in that work. Even if you disappear from society, society doesn't even know what you're upon. Where's this guy gone? But you just need to be ready to perform and make the most of your time. So
you have to keep the show on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bro. The sick thing about Muhammad is he works in silence, man. Did you know he was like, bro? I just saw him on the StriveMed, FYP TikTok. I was thinking, what's this guy doing now? Like, and he's into fitness. He's like, you know what I mean? So, mashallah, tabarakallah. Like, you don't have to be out there shouting about what you're doing. He works hard in silence, you know what I mean? In the background, in the khalas, the results, they
we'll let them speak for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
But I listen. I genuinely like Ivan's podcast. So this was a thing where I was watching it from early. At that point, I was watching it on YouTube as I was trying to drive. It was on Spotify. I was listening on there, but it's no longer there. So Spotify, if you wanna hook these man up, they're only going up. Get them early.
Yeah, sponsor us.
If you wanna do that, then we can make that happen. But I did really like Ivan's podcast. It was a very different insight. There's and the variety of guests you have. Sometimes things can get mundane if you only go in one package.
Yeah, exactly.
But you guys gone from a surgeon to an undertaker and many different things. So big up yourselves.
No, we appreciate it, bro. We appreciate it. As in,
easy for you.
I mean, bro. As in, said, bro, the love, like from day one, top support, man, big support. And I mean, so we appreciate that, man. And it's only right we bring you back in it for you to, you know what I mean, so everyone can see like what a top guy this guy is.
Bro, subhanAllah, one of the things when he told me he's finished medicine, that's the thing, he grinds in silence, puts in the work. I would have thought still going through med school, still putting in the hard yards, doing radiography in the nights and doing all sorts, right? But he's actually done now. He's come out on the other side and now he has a lot to look forward to, mashallah. He's got his social media, he's got his job now, inshallah, secures the job he wants. So my first question to you, brother, is that with all that you've done, in the last few years and everything, I want to know about your mindset. What is it that kept you going? What's your motivation? What was your why? And just tell us a bit more about that.
So, alhamdulillah, obviously, being a Muslim makes things a bit easier. At the end of the day, you have your North Compass that you can just continually focus on. This makes the day-to-day stuff a bit easier. And then in terms of my why, day-to-day, alhamdulillah, have family. Come from a great family, parents who supported me. So there's a pride aspect. I'm trying to make it happen, not just for myself, but also other people I'm trying to bring along with me. So those kind of things will give you strength in these times where you're trying to do a locum night shift and then you got to make placement in the morning and then another night shift that you just batter it and you're just keeping the show on the road. It's just each day as it comes. But one of the best things for me that has helped, wallahi, the last 5 years, one foot in front of the other. I have long-term goals that I've built out. So they're already, the whole map is, I'll tell you exactly, inshallah, in the next 10 years what's going to happen. Not what's going to happen, but what my timeline is. It will change. It will follow different paths.
It will meander.
Exactly. It will meander. It will change. It will take different paths, but I've got my timeline set out. But right now, it's just today. Today is what I'm trying to smash. And then tomorrow when I wake up, khalas, tomorrow is what I'm trying to smash. If I start looking 2-3 months down the line, you might get overworked. Your head might get a bit clouded. But if I look at today I need to get up, do X, Y, Z, tick it off. That's a great day done.
Yeah, you don't become overwhelmed with a long-term goal. That's the thing, bro. That's how you're meant to like. That's how they all advise. Like all these guys that do goal setting, that's exactly how they advise you. You like plan out your goals anyway. Like you have that long-term goal, like 5-10 years. Then you have the yearly goal, and then obviously you have to work out what you have to do on a monthly basis, weekly basis, then daily basis. And if you go by the daily basis, then you're not overwhelmed. You just got a few things you got to tick off, and that's it. And before you know it, the year goes by, and the way you've come, like, it's like you've achieved so much basically. There's a Chinese proverb, it's something along the lines of it's not about basically the person who's like making strides year upon year. It's about the person who's hitting those small steps, like daily steps. And it's even it's an Islamic concept, bro. If you're not going forward, there's no like if you're not going forward and you're gonna go backwards, there's no like standstill. You know what I mean? Like it's even in the Quran, لمن شاء منكم أن يتقدم أو يتأخر. Either you're going forward or you're going backward. That's it. You know what I mean? So if you're not hitting those targets daily, bro, you're basically going to become worse and worse. You've done worse than what you did the previous day, and so on and so forth. So makes perfect sense, man. Not bad.
100%. And exactly, that's what's recommended when it comes to even things like memorizing Quran, for example. You've got 600 pages that you need to work upon. But if when you wake up, you're getting overwhelmed, I need to do these 600 pages, subhanAllah, it's going to be potentially difficult for you. Yeah, you need to tackle it. What is it that you need to do on this day? And interestingly enough, your short-term goals, which you need to do in the day, as you said on the timeline, eventually it gets you where you need to be. So if your short-term goals are not in line with where you're ultimately aiming for, then eventually you won't get where you need to be.
That's when you've got the mismatch. That's when you need to now refocus and have a look to see, what am I doing today that's going to help me get there later on? Because if those two are not aligned, then you're just going to be in a headache. You're going to be in like a circle.
Yeah.
And eventually you're going to get demoralized. You're not going to feel like up to it because the effort you're putting in is not getting the output that you're looking for.
Yeah, no, bro, I see that. Bro, I wanted to touch upon one thing. You mentioned a bit about your background, your family. So I think for a lot of guys as well, that's one of the motivations that, okay, we need to break out, we need to change our situation, we need to improve and things like this. So just tell us a bit about your background, how you grew up, and did you have motivation from that aspect as well, trying to help your family and things like this?
Yeah, of course. So I'm from Somalia, obviously. My parents came here when I was young. So they've done a superb job. So they've come here to a country they don't know. They've, brought up kids here. They've navigated a system like we never could.
Yeah.
They were getting abuse on a day-to-day basis. Nothing to them. Things that we can't even handle now, 20, 30 years ago, in Italy working. But they've been through so much in their lifetime to get us here and these opportunities. So now I'm here. I'm born in North London, Finsbury Park. And I've been there my whole life. And I've got opportunities that they have never seen. So khalas, the only option I have is to make something of it. That's the way my mind has been. Sometimes I may have not made the most of every option, but this has always been in my mind. That each opportunity that I'm given, I've got to make something of it.
100%, man. And I think, every guest that comes on our podcast, we always touch on their unique background, because you find various backgrounds that all end up obviously coming into medicine. Like you meet a lot of interesting people. And I think, bro, what makes your background unique is the fact that you came from a low socioeconomic background and environment. Like it's not a affluent borough or area, but you still made something of yourself, as you mentioned. Like, and obviously your drive was that obviously your parents and your family, how hard they were working, and you to squander that opportunity would just be devastating, man. And you know what? Yeah, it's so interesting. Like also, like most of the people we were in medical school with, a lot of people you find they go into medicine because their parents are doctors. But our parents, I mean, for you, for me, and for Inam as well, they weren't doctors, they weren't medics, But we still obviously because it's very hard to now come from that environment and still make it through medical school, applying, make it as a doctor, etc. It's very difficult because you don't have that support network. Like they can't tell you because they've been through it. They can't tell you what to do, etc. But the fact that you still made it, mashallah, it's a testament to your hard work. You know what I mean? So,
bro, may Allah reward your parents, all of our parents. And the thing you mentioned is profound with regards to the sacrifices that they've made. And even from an Islamic perspective, is that it's very, very important for us to optimize birrul walidain, not just in serving them, but making sure that we make the most of that which they've given us, because ultimately they want to see us as sadaqah jariyah for them, right? In the future.
Yeah.
One of the aspects of sadaqah jariyah is a righteous child which supplicates for you. And also, inshallah, they had the intention to raise you in the best of ways. So anything you do from khair, inshallah, it goes on their scales. So this is something that we have to have at the forefront of our minds every single day, striving. I bring back the Quran example again. Someone who memorizes the Quran, again, they're presented a crown. Their parents are presented a crown on the day of judgment.
Yeah.
They're honored on the day of judgment. That's one example. But how many different examples can you do? You can do charity. You can do all of these things. Bro, Muhammad, going back to where you were brought up, right? And you made that conscious decision that, okay, I need to make something of myself. I need to break out and do something. What is it that made you choose the right path? Because there's a lot of brothers in that position, especially from our backgrounds. They'll be like, okay, we want to do it another way. Maybe it's selling drugs. Maybe it's, doing different things, making raps, or, doing other stuff. So what is it that made you pick the academic route and want to excel in that way, kind of stick to the right path?
Alhamdulillah, I'll say academically, I was okay. So I didn't struggle in particular. So from that point of view, off the offset, it's easy already. But truthfully, there's no barakah in those other paths. And I'll say this, I have a vivid memory when I was young. There's an older person who's doing, let's say, different activities. And they're trying to entice me to join them. But I'm looking at this said person wearing the same clothes for the last 5-7 days. I was looking at them saying, this is not a life I want to be a part of. You have no wealth. There's no long-term impact, because those same people are still stuck in the same cycle now. Which is the most painful part as a community when I'm looking at this. Because when you're young, you can see these and you may think, okay, this money or this thing or this fame is going to help me. It's going to advance me. But it's not going to advance you anywhere. Eventually, it's just going to detract from you. But that's something that you might not be able to tell when you're a bit younger. But I saw those guys consistently, and I used to see them doing the same things. Wallahi, month after month after month, we'd be kicking ball. They still stood there. They're still doing the same thing. No change in life, no change in structures. I said, there's no chance I'm a part of that. Alhamdulillah, then the academic aspect is just where I chose to put my mind down and go down that path. Starting with obviously A-levels, all those things, but radiography first at Leeds, which was a great time.
Yeah, we'll touch on that. But bro, like obviously coming from that background, I'm from a similar background, obviously. But like, there's a lot of influence. Like, there's a lot because obviously everyone's not doing the same thing as you, right?
Thanks.
So like, how do you not waver? Like, how do you like stay firm? And obviously it's tawfiq from Allah first and foremost. But I'm saying, like, as when you're young, you're not your thinking is not as mature as it is now. Does that make sense? So how do you not waver? Like, how do you remain focused on that?
Obviously, me and you were from similar backgrounds. You have a mixed bag of friends at that age. So you have friends who are doing like similar things to you, they're academic, etc., or they like football. Then you have friends doing nefarious activities, other things, and you're all together. And you're all friends, but everyone does their things separately. So those guys who are going off to do different things, they go off and do that and come back and kick ball together. So at that age, it was just making it clear that I'm going to stick to this. So I'm still going to be in contact with you. I'm still friends. But the situation you're doing over there has nothing to do with me. And just making that clear distinction that despite us being friends, despite us being cool, we're all together, we're here in a community. I'm not on what you man are on. I've got to do something different. And luckily I had friends who were also doing like those different things, or
the good stuff,
activities that have barakah in them. Barakah. So from my point of view, that was the one thing. Genuinely, I was like, listen, we're all doing this together, we're all kicking ball, we're all friends, but I'm definitely not on what you man are on. Which helps. When you're younger, it's easy. If you ain't got the garms and they got the garms, especially I'm trying to think like really like as a young kid, if they got a new bicycle, you don't have that. They got new football shoes, you don't have that.
Or you just see them chilling and like they're out all the time, or living life, and you're out here, you have to go library, or you have to study and that. It can
but
be
also parents. My mom had a rule.
Yeah.
Sundown, you had to be in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That rule could not be. There was no play in that rule.
Yeah.
There was no space.
Yeah.
If you came home, the door was closed. You were standing outside. So alhamdulillah, I also had that guidance from my life.
SubhanAllah. Al-mar'u ala dini khalili. With regards to the individual is on the deen, the way of life of his companions, right? And this goes more than just the physical companions you have around you. This is everything that you expose yourself to on social media, even. So that's social media nowadays is something profound. You surround yourself with the likes of people who are making money in different ways, ways that are not necessarily ethical and things like this. So if you surround yourself with that, you'll be more inclined towards that. Whereas if you fill yourself with good influences, then inshallah you'll be more likely to go upon the right path.
It's very true. Very true.
Barakallah feek. So I think touching upon your intensity with your mindset and, you know, staying on the straight path, etc. One of the things where it's very easy to apply your mindset to is fitness, right? And that's something that, you know, it's actually quite interesting for us to see your journey with that. What is it, 40 kg you lost?
Yeah, minimum 40 kilos.
MashaAllah. That's solid, bro. We need to put your progress pics on the screen right now.
Yeah, we'll have it.
Yeah, MashaAllah.
We'll have it up. Yeah. SubhanAllah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, like that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this guy was legit working in the background.
Yeah, we didn't know about this.
Because
Yeah.
the thing is, I used to see him all the time. I'm not going to mention the name of the hospital, wherever trust, but I see him all the time there. Then all of a sudden, he went, obviously, maybe like your placement finished or whatever, or he wasn't around. So, like, the image I had in my head of him, then when I saw him on the...
I sent him one of the TikToks.
Yeah, when I saw him on
He's
the TikTok, I'm like,
okay.
whoa, like, what happened here, bro?
Who is this guy?
Yeah, who's this brother? Yeah. But mashallah, it's very inspiring, man. So let's touch on like, so how did that start? Like, how did that begin?
Yes.
Were you always like overweight, or like how did that come through?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I wouldn't say I was overweight. I was actually into the gym, football, for example, during A levels, GCSE, those kind of times. And then I went to Leeds, studied radiography. And then towards the back end of Leeds is when I stopped playing football. So this was the first key. This was the first danger zone.
Yeah.
Because when you lose such an activity and your diet is already
mash up
completely,
it's not
unbalanced, completely off emotions, and there's no strict regulation, then you're in danger. So I stopped playing football probably back end, and then I started medicine. Obviously, I had to finance my medicine degree, so I was locuming throughout medicine. So this is
so did you go from finishing your degree straight into the program?
Yeah, so I qualified as a radiographer and straight into medicine.
That contributes as well, because it's a mad lifestyle, especially when you're putting in crazy shifts. It's hard to eat clean, it's hard to train, and that stress as well builds up. So 100%. It's all conducive towards becoming unfit, basically.
And I'll tell you something else. Yeah,
it's very conducive to
Mohammed will touch upon it. Yeah, 100%. I'll tell you what the key was like that. Also acts as a catalyst. He was probably doing hella night shifts.
Night shifts, yeah,
bro. Night shifts. Because
significant number of night shifts.
Crazy night shifts. I bet you were doing that. Yeah. And the thing is, and you were doing that only because your lifestyle. That's the only way you could do it. Studying during the day, And on top of that, bro, so it's gonna accelerate your weight gain, man. It does, physiologically, bro. It's gonna accelerate cortisol. What is it? Cortisol release, bro. It's nuts. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, it's true. So obviously, I started medicine, and then once I started medicine, I stopped going to gym as well. So these are already two big pillars that were keeping the weight off me, that were then lost. And then obviously I started medicine, I'm getting to grips. It's a bit easier when you're a grad because you know how to study. I'm not saying the content's easier, but you already have your methods for understanding information a bit more. And then COVID hit. So COVID's hit now. Now I've gone to full-time work.
That's a 3 strikes. Yeah, 3 strikes.
Basically full-time work. 3 strikes and you're out. Then I was out. COVID hit. I moved out of home. And I was just eating takeaway for like months on end. That storm there.
Yeah. So when COVID hit, what you were like now full blown, like the shifts were just
when COVID hit, because you were at home for university.
Yeah.
So everything was Zoom.
Yeah.
So all I would do was I
bang
did
it.
all these Zooms on my own time, and then I would just work.
Yeah.
And I didn't stop working
Oh,
because obviously
yeah.
at COVID time, either you're at home or you're working.
Yeah.
Nobody was allowed out.
Yeah, that's true.
So I took the option to work,
make money.
and then do my lectures in my own time
Yeah.
and just go through them, which was a bit easier.
Yeah.
But no activity.
Um,
And then things start to snowball because now I've added, you know, what the one thing is, when you're stopping an activity, you don't realize the detriment that's about to have. Because you think, I'm not kicking ball no more. That's fine. I'm still going to gym. But it only takes 1 year later for you to stop gym for there to be no activity in your life. It only takes another year for your diet to be completely out of control. And then once all the snowballs are going, stopping it at that point is an absolute.
Yeah, you know the worst part is, bro, is that as soon as you've taken, so the longer break you take, the harder it is to get back in. Not just from like a motivational point of view, but from doing the activity, bro. Physically. You just be like, you stop playing football. Like me and you did the same thing. We took like a good break. This guy took bare long. He took like how many years? 5 years you stopped playing football now.
Yeah, I stopped for a long time,
bro.
But I had to focus on other goals at the time.
But the thing is, as soon as you come back in, now you're tired 5 minutes in, and then you're like, oh, I can't do this. And then you, because you're so tired from the session, because you're not used to doing the activity that you used to do before, and now it's harder to get back in because you don't want to come back.
Yep.
So it's detrimental, as you said.
And your technique is off.
Yeah,
this is very true.
Yeah.
I got back into football back end of last year. In my mind, I can do certain things. In my mind, I can put it top bins.
Yeah,
my foot doesn't know how to do it anymore. So you're leaving sessions and you're the worst player on the pitch. You're
demotivated.
You fall down on the first step over.
You fall down immediately, bro. All of a sudden, a guy's coming. He's doing these basic step overs. You're like, I'm just gonna take the ball. He's gone past you. I said,
already.
Wait a minute. This never used to happen.
Yeah.
It's easy to not come back for the next session. Alhamdulillah. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah. So now we know how you got to where you got to, and what was so obviously, so now COVID, etc. Now you've gone back to uni.
Yeah.
And now you're on placement section. This is when we met you.
Yeah.
So now, what was the change since we last met till now? Like, what happened? What sparked that change and made you like, you know what, enough is enough now?
There's just one benefit I actually thought of that with regards to baseline and analyzing yourself. So if you've dropped something which is beneficial for you, you shouldn't wait for so long until you have those detrimental effects and you realize, oh, subhanAllah, this is what I dropped from my lifestyle. You should always have that self-accountability. And this is a lesson for our viewers as well. It's a benefit, is that even when it comes to optimizing your iman, maintaining your iman, your spirituality, right? A lot of times when people have pressurized situations in life, in their work, they'll drop an act of worship, which they used to do consistently. And they realize, why am I feeling a bit weak? Why is it that I don't feel the same? My chest feels a bit more constricted. And they realize that I haven't been doing this. I've been reading a much less portion of Quran. I've been doing less sunnah after my fard prayers, subhanAllah. So all of these things, it goes back to self-accountability and realizing that the baseline situation that you're at in terms of optimal function in any area of life is very important. It's very important to maintain that consistency in all these different realms, physical realms, spiritual realms, and you may not often realize the values of them until you lose them. SubhanAllah. So
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And it's easy sometimes to live life on autopilot. Yeah. So I'm in med school. I'm a radiographer who's locum in. I'm doing all these other things, family activities. I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to accept that I don't need to get a handle on this.
100%.
I used to, because it's an excuse. You can tell yourself, I'm doing all these different things that I can accept not to have a handle. But the truth is, over the last couple of years, I was still doing the same thing, but I managed to have a handle on it. So once you accept it in your mind that this is something you're going to balance and do all together at the same time, it gets easier.
Yeah, I think at that point, people often have two paths. They're like, okay, to be honest, they'll start listening to the crowd, the self-acceptance crowd, or like the overweight. They'll be like, no, just like, you're fine the way you are kind of thing. And you don't need to change, you don't need to train, or this is good for you, for example. But obviously the science is there, it shows, obviously. So there's no debating with that, right? So I think the fact that you haven't accepted that for yourself as a standard, it all comes down to the mind, to be honest. So if you have that level of respect for yourself, whereby you're happy to present yourself or to feel internally in a certain way, then you more likely act upon that. You won't change anything about your life. Well, obviously, thankfully, you came back to baseline, and alhamdulillah, even much better than that. Solid shape. So tell us about that, inshallah.
Yes, yeah. So let's go back to the question was, what sparked that change, man? Like, what was it that sparked it? You know?
Yeah, so there was a few things. So I'll tell you, there's some day-to-day activities that if you're struggling with, let this be a bit of a wake-up call.
Yeah.
So if you can't walk up and down Oxford Street
Yeah.
without feeling tired, having back pain, or those kind of sweating or feeling hot, then there's a problem. I used to go Oxford Street shopping. We'd go into 2-3 shops.
You're done.
I used to be like, listen, I need a break.
Yeah.
I need to sit somewhere or something.
Yeah.
My back, I'd literally get lower back pain.
So young as well, man.
Bro, young. This is not making any sense.
Yeah.
So there was some things that were already giving me some flags. Yeah. And then from work point of view, I never really got any flags. I was able to, still do a high output, good quality work. But I started mentally, you start feeling sluggish. And when you're feeling that way for so long, you're able to adapt. Yeah. Yeah. So this also almost becomes a new normal. It's something that you can ride on. Yeah. I can ride on like just eating high calorie foods, just eating takeaways and all these things, like barely drinking any water, drinking lots of juice. So juice was a massive problem. I see my video. Then juice was the absolute, it was like an atomic bomb in my life.
No way.
I used to drink like 3-4 liters of juice, bro. This is not a key to success at all. So
Eddie Abu's gonna slaughter you, bro. On the podcast. What?
Eddie's speaking the truth.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Because obviously, this is a quick tangent, but if Eddie's just saying to you, you need to eat whole foods, real foods, yeah. Obviously, he says some wild things, whatever. But if you're looking at the pure basic, he said eat real foods and just reduce all these other processed foods. Yeah. Wallah, if you do that, you'll seek a success.
Yeah.
I don't need to see what else you're eating. If you're actually eating real food, jacket potato instead of chips. If you're drinking water instead of juice. If you're eating real stuff, yeah.
Stuff without millions of ingredients. I know he does it in an inflammatory way, but it goes to show the state of society when people are getting triggered by saying eat food, like just eat food, real food.
Yeah, people
soon. It's mad. It's actually mad. You're right, man. People get vexed. But soon it's like, it's just the way society is, isn't it? And also, you'll get vexed by things that you know what I mean? If the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits. Yeah. It impacts you. You feel it deeper.
It hits deep.
When you're watching that video, you know he's at you.
Yeah, like, oh.
You're like, nah, this guy is just talking too much.
Yeah. And you've got something in your hand while watching it.
You're just eating a bag of Cheetos. So actually, let me go back. I don't think I answered your question. Of the catalyst. So, I also went on a couple of holidays and I didn't particularly like
the way you looked.
No, and this is the truth.
Yeah.
You know, I was.
Was it after you took the pictures?
This is another thing. If you go back and look at my phone, there's minimal full photo pictures.
Okay.
So you can almost live in a way that you're not actually seeing the mirror. You're not actually seeing the reflection truly, because if you go through my phone during those couple of years, it's mainly headshots and all these different things. There's no full face pictures. It's almost
full
like
body,
full bodies.
Yeah,
it's like I got rid of them somehow. And then I come home one day. So this is not even a story I've dropped on TikTok yet.
Yeah.
It's due to come, but this is exclusive.
Exclusive, yeah.
I come home one day and there's an auntie in my house with my mum, and she looks at me and says, "Which uncle is this?"
I'm not bad.
Bro, if that doesn't wake you up, Wallah, I don't know. Honestly, that same evening I ran a 5K. I ran a 5K and I gave myself such bad back pain because I couldn't physically run a 5K vexed. At that point. I was just vexed, bro. Mama had to explain, no, this is my son. This is my oldest son. That's how hot my body was at that point.
Fueled purely by the humiliation.
By rage. No, obviously, I'm joking. But that was, these are all things that over time get you to a point where you're in your head, you're like, nah, I'm doing something about it.
Yeah.
And once I chose to do something about it, there was no going back.
Yeah.
Because I decided, I started with the food.
Did you ever relapse throughout that time?
I relapsed many times. Okay. That's the maddest part. People will think at me and say, okay, this guy lost 40 kilo in about a year's time.
Yeah.
He probably did it banging every day. Over those over that year, I was probably consistent 75% of the time.
75%.
Imagine I told you, do this for 75% of the time and you'll get that goal you want. You'll be thinking, this guy maybe he's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
I literally probably did 75% of my workouts.
We'll put your picture, transformation pic on the screen as well. But like, it's mad because when you look at it now as the viewers, you're looking at that picture transformation from what you were to what you are now. People will think that you, in fact, were overexerting yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's as if you never even took a day off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
within that year time frame to achieve those results, bro.
I was very strict with my diet. So the diet, I tried to be as strict, but you fall off. And the belief for me mentally at that point was, I fell off, I'm back on tomorrow. I just kept getting back on. Like it literally, if let's say I went out and I had a pizza, whatever, with some people.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that I allowed to get into my mind like, oh yeah, I failed. Tomorrow, I'm back on my diet. I'm putting my calories into my fitness pal. It's almost like it didn't happen.
Okay.
I'm straight back on. Like I would not let it turn me off. Before, like obviously I've tried it a few times. Before I'd go out eat. I'd be like, I flopped.
Yeah.
Next day I wake up, I eat butter on toast straight off the morning, croissants.
Yeah.
I'd come home, basta, which is pasta, basta and hilib, which is meat or chicken.
Yeah.
In the evening, I'd have a bag of Cheetos next to my bed, mango juice.
Yeah.
And the next day, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, I flopped yesterday.
Yeah. I'll start next week, man. I'll start properly. I'll tracking next week.
We'll just carry on.
Yeah, that's a good thing. We'll touch upon that mindset, man, to have, like, because I think that's why people don't achieve what they like. Consistency. We're human beings at the end of the day, right? When people talk about consistency, it means trying to do it every day, but everyone knows like there's almost a hidden meaning, extra meaning in that word, in the sense that we know that as human beings we're gonna relapse, we're gonna fall off, we're not infallible, we're gonna make mistakes. For example, if we link it back to Islam, we're gonna sin. So it's not about like being the perfect human being. That doesn't exist. It's all about like almost being perfect, striving to be that. You know what I mean? So consistency, it means doing something every day, even if it's something small. But the odd few, maybe you do it for 2 weeks straight and you fall off. It doesn't mean like now you're ruined, like you're done and dusted. But it means you just literally pick yourself up and you continue, innit?
Yeah. And also, just if you fall off,
yeah,
don't then wipe out that whole day.
Yeah.
That was one thing I stopped doing.
Yeah.
So if I went out and I had a pizza or whatever, it wasn't
You're
now.
like, oh, today's written off.
Today's written off. I'm going crazy. I'm getting ice cream. I'm eating halwa and that, which is a Somali delicacy.
Yeah, it's giving yourself an excuse.
Don't do that. So let's say you fell off, you had whatever. That's it. That's where it ends. The rest of the day can also still be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think social media contributes as well. There's a lot of guys in the self-improvement space. Obviously, they'll preach that intensity, etc. Behind the camera. Obviously, David Goggins, the likes of them. And you will think that these guys are pulling the perfect routines in each and every day. But the reality is that they're not doing that each and every day. There's days when they relapse, they fall back. But it's about the general trend, right? And they're not obviously going to put themselves on the camera. Obviously, it's not good for the brand, right? To say that, oh, today I flopped a bit, but I'm going to come back. That's the reality of the situation. You know, we have to try our best. Mohammed, bro, you know, obviously at the moment, Allah Mubarak, you come across as someone with good charisma, good confidence, self-image. I'm sure being in shape, obviously, it helps with that, right? I was very interested by what you said regarding how you went through a year or even more than that without actually taking any full body shots on your camera. And I think this kind of stuff, it creeps in subconsciously. So subconsciously, you knew that you weren't happy with this thing. And then that culminated in you not really recording yourself in that way on the camera. So I wanted to ask perhaps a deep question, like deep down. Was there any moments where mentally you struggled? I know you mentioned physically with regards to Oxford Street and things like this and whatnot. But was there any times when you mentally felt very down? And could you contrast that with how mentally you feel now as well?
Yeah, I would say mentally now I probably feel a bit more clearer, you know. I'm able to focus on my deen now. I'm able to focus on fitness. I'm able to focus on a lot of different things and balance it. I would say during that period, it's easy to just stay busy. So I don't think I particularly felt low at any specific points. But what I did do is make myself busy being busy. Sometimes when I didn't need to be. Because then you're not thinking. Like, if you don't think, then you won't particularly know there's something going on.
That's
So
true.
if you live life on autopilot, sometimes it can get you through different parts. Obviously, we have different seasons in life, whatever. But if you live life on autopilot at all times, then there's something you're trying to avoid. And at points, I was definitely living on autopilot. Just wake up, work, revise, eat. Wake up, work, revise, eat, and on repeat. And not actually looking at the life that you're actually trying to live. Is this in line with you? Is this something you want to do? Does it make sense for you as a person? Like,
that's true. That's true. I think, especially in this day and age with the current economic climate, everyone, like, so many people, majority of the people, I would say, were probably living in this way. There's a concept in Islam called tafakkur, right? Contemplation, and that allows you to reflect on not just the signs in the Quran, the ayat of Quran, but also your own life. Are you living in the way that you want it to be? One thing which blocks tafakkur is being constantly over busy. And especially in people in this economic climate, they're literally just trying to stay afloat.
Yep.
They're putting in the shifts, coming home, and essentially what happens is you reach an old age, and you're like, what have I done? In fact, I haven't done much in my life. I've just reached this age. I can still barely pay the rent. And I haven't really done much for my family, for my wider community, for myself first and foremost, right? To serve the deen, etc. So this aspect of tafakkur is so important, just taking that time out to actually reflect on your own circumstances, your own future.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, 100% it's needed. Like, bro, just because we're coming towards the end of the pod, and we're definitely going to bring you back for part 2, because I want to delve into your daily routine in terms of fitness, because I think there's probably people out there, I think you mentioned it on your videos.
I need to give some more detail,
but we need to know exactly what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. I think the people need to know first and foremost.
There might be a training program coming soon. You never know.
You never know. Yeah, you'll hear it here first, though. Inshallah. What I want to speak about, or I want you to sort of maybe it will be a nice way to conclude, is people in sort of similar position as you, specifically maybe for the Somali community. What would you let's say you're speaking to maybe, like, I don't know, 17, 18-year-old kids from your area that you grew up in. What advice would you give them coming from a standpoint of, like, in terms of, like, success, in terms of, like, pursuing a career or whatever, pursuing something they're passionate about, but also in terms of, like, some of the mindsets that we spoke about, making sure that their family, obviously their parents have come here, they worked hard, and making sure they don't squander the opportunities they have. What would you tell them, like?
Yeah, so I would say one of the best things you can do is have a look at the people you don't want to be. This is one thing that I did. Have a look at the people you don't want to be, and what they're doing is what you need to avoid. Just avoid.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. And then from that point of view, you need to have gratitude. Obviously, if you have gratitude for your parents and they're high up on your mind at all times, then it makes it easier. Like, even when I was in Leeds writing my dissertation, I was thinking about my mom. And I was like, listen, I got to make this happen. Like, me writing essays is not the best thing in the world, but I made it happen. So I'd say also having gratitude for the position you're in, trying to make it happen. And also, I would say a lot of people now, in this day and age, the 9 to 5 is looked down on. Yeah? I would say don't get caught up in that hype, because you can use it to build what you do want. Yeah? So you're young. There's so much pressure on these kids now. Like, they're all...
to be entrepreneurs or what?
To be entrepreneurs. They need to open a side business. They need to do this. They need to do that on the side. I want you to go ahead and do it. But you can use the 9 to 5, a specific career, to pay for all of that.
To propel it.
And then in your 30s, you can close it down if you like. These are the real options that you do have. But if you take that away from yourself early on, then you won't be able to do that. So I'd say, especially if a kid from our area, our background, I'd say, firstly, have a look at your parents. This is someone that I got on my back. And then just think about the life that I want to live and what steps am I going to make it. A lot of the time, if I'm being very honest, it's not the people around you. They're not conducive to what you're trying to do long term. That's the truth. It's a bit painful, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Bro, flip the question on me.
Yeah. Well,
bro, I agree with you, man, 100%. I think entrepreneurship 100% is important, yeah?
Very important.
And it's something that we're all striving towards to do eventually. Obviously, you want control of your time, which is the main thing. But I think it's also I think people only tell you what you need to do, but they don't tell you how you, like, you can't just, as a 16, 17-year-old, you can't, with nothing, no background, no expertise in anything, just literally, like, and no finances even.
No income.
No income. Bro, a lot of the time, and also, not just that family pressure, because, as you said, like, you can't, it's a disservice to your parents for you to just, like, after they've, like, literally brought you up, they also need to see you doing something, you know what I mean? The pressure's there, obviously. We might be right, might be wrong, but I think it's better for you to first of all find some career, whatever, whilst you work out what you're gonna do in terms of entrepreneurship, and just work that 9 to 5 and use the finances from there. They always talk about 5 to 9 nowadays on social media, whatever. Use that 5 to 9 time outside of that to work on your dreams and propel it, because you can't just tell a guy like to just. And also, off the cuff, like,
if you're a young kid, don't lose that business aspiration. I think that's something I lost for a little bit, because even in school, I opened a tuk-tuk shop in school.
Really?
Yeah, when I was in year 9, because the school tried to ban me when I was selling in year 8. In year 8, I had like 20 year 7 selling stuff like crisps and chocolate for me. For me, and the school tried to ban me. So the way they tried to ban me, and the business teacher opened a tuk-tuk shop. I started selling from there.
Wait. So these kids were selling for you, yeah?
Yeah.
What was?
I used to go to the wholesalers.
And get bulk
chocolates.
So and then they'll get commission.
I'll hand it out, and then let's say 5 cookies were £2.50. Yeah, 50p. They gave me back the £2.
Okay.
Yeah. And these men were quick, so they used to get rid of the stock. Yeah. The teachers tried to close that down, obviously.
Yeah.
But I bartered with them. I was not having it.
Yeah. And
I said, we need to find a solution where I can make money in my breaks in this school.
Yeah. And
my business teacher came up with the idea. Me and him did it together.
So basically, bro, I can't lie, he finessed you though.
Yeah.
He finessed you. He had the upper hand.
Bro, he had the upper hand. He finessed me. But I didn't allow that situation to just disappear.
No.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing. That's amazing.
I think sometimes we become adults, sometimes you can just let that disappear.
What did the business teacher bring to the table?
He had rules and regulations on his side.
Basically, he was authority, innit?
He was the authority.
He was authority.
It's just like paying taxes or getting a permit.
Bro, that's mad, though.
Was the...
And then what? You made money from that?
Yeah.
Allah, I'm bad. How many years did you do that for?
I did that for a whole year. And then I moved it on. Okay. And then it went downhill because the passion, the love wasn't there.
Okay, mad. SubhanAllah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, bro, that entrepreneurship's always goated, isn't it? Like, that's the main thing. Like, that it's always a life that you want to be in, yeah? Because obviously you have control. Control is the main thing of your finances, time, etc. But also at the same time, like, that's my opinion, and I could be wrong. Is I think that you need that 9 to 5 to initially in the initial stages to propel it. Like, it's not something. Obviously, I'm not saying being the 9 to 5 long term, but have that to propel it. Anyway,
I think first and foremost is make sure that you yourself are optimized, right? Obviously, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. We constantly mention this on the show, but reality is that you need to work on that. You need to work on yourself for a long time before you can actually get to the stage where you're like, okay, now I can expand and do all of these things. I think in your position, Allah Barak, you've got a lot of avenues you can explore now. You can go down the fitness route, medical route. I think social media, provides a lot of opportunities, mashallah. So what's the future? What's in store for Meandering Mohammed in the future?
Inshallah? Yeah, Meandering Mohammed, Mo Local. There's a lot of things coming. Stay tuned, especially on the TikTok.
Yeah.
There's also YouTube dropping soon. I'm joining you guys' foray.
Good.
But at the moment, it's just a period of understanding what I want to put out there, what value I want to provide to people. And I get a lot of DMs from people trying to say, help me. I'm not sure I can provide that yet,
but you'll soon have that. You'll be able to provide that, innit? Yeah. Brilliant, man. Brilliant, bro. I'm telling you guys, from now, we're going to do a part 2 because, like, literally, if you look on our list, like, there's so much we didn't touch on and we had to, like, I feel like I was rushed, but we're definitely going to bring you back. 100%, yeah? You can hold me accountable for that.
Hold him, yeah. I need to see in the comments.
Inshallah, I'll bring you back, bro. It was a pleasure. And we'll definitely do a part 2. And guys, make sure that you check out Healthy Nikah, obviously our sponsors, Healthy Nikah, first and foremost. We'll leave all the details in the description of the video. And then secondly is the Marate perfumes. Yeah, so you can see it right here. Marate perfumes. Check that out. We will put the link in the description. I can guarantee you will not regret buying this. I can guarantee that there will be no regrets. Again, you can hold me accountable for that, inshallah. So Anything else you want to add on?
That's it, bro. You're still doing 75 hard? You done yours today? Or?
Yeah, I've done my 75 hard. So even that, I failed 75 hard. I was honest
relapsed.
about it. Yeah, I relapsed. I got ill for a bit, and then I just even once I got off the illness, I used the next day as an excuse to not do anything. So yeah, 75 hard is ongoing. I even have my water bottle in the car right now because I need to get the fluids in. So alhamdulillah, I'll be dropping that content at some point.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. May Allah bless you. It was a pleasure to have you with us today.
I've loved it, man.
Inshallah, we'll catch up soon. Barakallah fi. Take care, guys. Until next time.
Till next time.
Till next time.